AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will. Hey, bud.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's hump day. Hey. Yeah.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We've made it to hump day of the week before SEC Media Days.
Hump day.
Whether you like media days or not,
It's hump day.
it is a very clear line of demarcation in the summer.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
When we get to media days,
Hump day.
it's all football all the time.
It's hump day.
Media days next week.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Then the Saints report for training camp the following Tuesday.
Hump day.
Then the Tigers are on the field for spring, not for spring, for fall camp.
It's hump day.
We've made it to the halfway
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
to the halfway point of the week before the week that begins our football conversation in earnest.
Hump day.
It's a lot of qualifiers.
It's hump day.
Don't care.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Bert Jones
Hump day.
retiring his jersey.
It's hump day.
Stan Brock
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
didn't have a Super Bowl pick.
Hump day.
Didn't have an opinion on Saints starting tackles.
It's hump day.
But he was here, man.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
He was here.
Hump day.
Did I miss anything? No, he was here.
It's hump day.
No, I think you nailed it. Yeah, I think you got it.
He was,
Mike. What day is it,
he
Mike?
was here.
Hump day.
The heart,
Yep.
cardiovascular. He talked about that.
It's hump day.
He was here.
He was here.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
What was our guy doing?
Hump day.
I couldn't get a take out of him. Something.
It's hump day.
Stan, you like anybody in the Super Bowl?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Nah, I don't.
No, not really.
Hump day.
Pull that up.
All right.
Pull that up.
It's hump day.
Man. All right, let's get going. We got a lot to do here in our 5 o'clock hour. Thanks for hanging out. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Remember, lowest prices, never any contracts. That's on HRT. That's on peptides as well. If you're getting your HRT or your peptide somewhere else, you're overpaying. Bottom line. YourGoodwood.com. YourGoodwood.com. Okay. We have talked a lot since Lane Kiffin has gotten here about Lane Kiffin's approach to high school recruiting. There are some other fan bases who are not thrilled with me because I've pointed out what I feel to be is very obvious with not only what Lane Kiffin has said, but matching that with their actions. Lane Kiffin does not prioritize high school recruiting. It's not to say they're not going to take a really good player if it's at a position of need. And certainly there's players they like, they think they can grow and develop. But we've played the soundbite roughly 11 bajillion times this offseason where Lane Kiffin says, I challenge our staff to judge their character. It's always mattered, but it matters more. Basically what he's saying is we're not going to pay guys from the high school ranks to come here for 1 year, sit, and leave. Not doing that. So they want to make sure they invest in guys that are going to stay. And you can look around. Look around this signing class. Two very obvious prospects. One is Joshua Dobson. He's a 5-star, top corner in the country, and LSU was the leader all throughout, and then all of a sudden, boom, he drops the top 5. LSU's not even on it. Dude wanted a bag. LSU wasn't going to give it to him because in 2027, he ain't going to play. Or he's going to be at best behind Pickett and Woodland. At best, you're number 3. You're not going to pay him like a number 1. So he's going to go somewhere where he's going to get paid, South Carolina. Albert Simeon. In a different era, yes. LSU is going to get Albert Simeon, 5-star from Southwest Louisiana, get him here, love the Tigers, red shirt to play a little bit as a freshman, and then by his second year, boom, he's going to go. But you're not going to pay an interior offensive lineman to sit and be a backup year 1. If you have a finite amount of resources to build your roster, you have a cap, a sum of money, pool of whatever that is, you're not going to spend a lot of money on a player that's not going to play. It just doesn't make sense, regardless of what the star rating is. And this was such interesting timing this week because CBS dropped a look back at the 5-stars from the 2024 signing class. The 32 5-stars that are going into their junior seasons. Okay? And there are 3, by the way, on LSU's roster. One is Dominic McKinley, Jordan Ross, who transferred in from Tennessee, and Jordan Seaton, who transferred in from Colorado. So LSU has 3 guys on the roster right now that were 5-stars in the class of 2024. And CBS looked at these 32 guys and said they gave them an evaluation, one of 3 options. Either in question whether they've lived up to expectations, meeting expectations, or exceeding expectations. 32 players. First of all, roughly a third, 10 of the 32 have transferred. That's what Lane Kiffin's talking about. Why are you going to go pay, even a 5-star, if they're going to sit for a year, it's not going to go well, and they leave? What have you gotten? Nothing. You've wasted money. Lance Hurd, anybody? 5-star offensive lineman from North Louisiana, comes here, sits for a year, transfers to Tennessee. Plays there for 2 years, now he's at Kentucky. What did you get out of him? Nothing. 10 of the 32 have transferred. As far as the grades, 16 of the 32, they rate as in question, meaning they still have not met expectations for their career. Dominic McKinley and Jordan Ross, by the way, both in that group. 13, little less than half, meeting expectations, and just 3 exceeding expectations. Those 3, by the way, Ohio State wide receiver Jeremiah Smith, Texas edge rusher Colin Simmons, and South Carolina edge Dylan Stewart. Those are the 3. When you sign a 5-star, typically the thought is you're getting Jeremiah Smith, Colin Simmons, Dylan Stewart. That's what you think when you sign a 5-star. The reality is those are the extreme outliers. What you are more likely to get when you sign a 5-star is DJ Lagway, LJ McCray, Williams Nweri, defensive lineman, started at Missouri, now is at Nebraska. Dylan Raiola was a 5-star in that class. Jordan Ross, the number 9 player in the country, signed at Tennessee, rotational guy for 2 years, played just 20 snaps as a freshman. Not 20 tackles, played 20 snaps as a freshman when he's a top 10 player in the country. Now he's at LSU. Jalen Mbakwe started at Bama, now at Georgia Tech, the 12th best player in the country in that class. Terry Bussey. This is more commonly what happens. This is why Lane Kiffin is not being pot committed to signing elite level high school players unless they are players at positions of need that will be immediate impact guys, like Ahmad Hudson. It is so abundantly clear watching this team in spring how they plan to feature Trey Green. He's everywhere. Attached, H-back, slot, out wide. They are going to feed him the ball because he is their most dynamic offensive player. Not even a question. He's probably going to the NFL after this year, so you need to replace him. Ahmad Hudson, boom, plug and play. You'll pay that guy. Jalen Brewster, 6'3", 300 pounds, is a 17-year-old rising senior. You'll pay that guy because he's going to step on campus and be a rotational defensive tackle for you, just like you expect Lamar Brown and Richard Anderson to be. You'll pay those guys. It's very evident what they're doing. And the ultimate takeaway here is, in a different era, yes, when guys had to stay, you wanted to go load up with the stockpile, elite level prospects. So you were just, it was a turnstile, just year after year after year. It's what Saban did at Bama and Georgia and Ohio State. It's how they built these incredible rosters, was through high school recruiting. It's not the case anymore because those guys don't stay. The best illustration, coincidentally, is Texas A&M in 2022. They had the highest rated signing class ever in 2022, and half of that class didn't finish their career at Texas A&M. It all disintegrated. They got nothing out of it. And A&M, I say coincidentally, because they're about to repeat the same mistake. A&M has 11 players committed right now in the top 60 nationally. And history shows half of those guys aren't going to work out, and a third of those guys are going to transfer. Just the way it is. It's just the numbers. It's what happens. So, and by the way, that number may go even higher because I'm sure more of those guys will transfer after their junior season if they play a senior year. It's the five-star myth. It used to be the way to build a roster. It just isn't anymore. Identify the few elite level guys at positions of need that will be immediate impact. And other than that, sign a bunch of guys that you think are high character guys that are not going to cost you anything or cost you much, that are willing to stay and develop within your offense. And if they do, great. And if they leave, you haven't lost anything financially. I'm not telling you 100% this is going to work. I'm just telling you this is clearly what Lane Kiffin and this staff are doing. And it is their path. This is their path in this era. And time will tell if it's the right way to do it. But it sure logically makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? When you're faced with this mountain of evidence of the turnover and lack of immediate success of five stars. So why invest in them? At least why invest in them on the front end? You'd rather get Jordan Seaton after he's a 2-year starter at Colorado instead of paying Lance Hurd to sit for a year and then leave. Time will tell if it's the right way if this is the right way to build a roster. It's hard to argue with a guy that won 50 games over the last 5 years at Ole Miss, where they won 50 games in the last 50 years until Lane Kiffin showed up. Runts. Sorry, I had to. Not sorry. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor. They'll come by and they will spray that patented, non-toxic, dry fog. Kill mold, remove odor, other harmful pathogens. It's easy, it's cost-effective, it's efficient. It's Parish Restoration. Check them out online at parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Mold remediation done right the first time for your home, office building, church, school, workout facility. You need to get that thing sanitized, smelling great, mold-free. They can do it at Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're aboard with us here. We're going to knock out a quick break. If you missed it, we opened the show when we were joined by Bert Jones. Today, LSU announced they are retiring Bert Jones's jersey, that number 7, this coming fall. I want to give you some of my reaction to that when we continue on AFR.
After Further Review.
Beautiful summer days are meant to be spent outside, and few things can accentuate your outdoor space, like a beautiful garden, flower beds, patio pots full of beautiful summer arrangements. And there's no better place to go, obviously, than Clegg's Nursery. If you want, you just look at the video, go check out their social media, their photos. Greenhouses just chock full of beautiful blooms, adding that just splash of color to your outdoor space to beautify and accentuate all of your outdoor spaces. Just plant something. If you're not sure what to plant, it's easy. Just go to Clegg's and ask them. They have great horticulturists on staff that can explain to you what needs a lot of care, what needs a little care, what needs direct sunlight, what needs shade. They have all the answers and the best selection, and they're local. It's Clegg's Nursery. So get on by any of the 4 locations. Buy local, shop local, and tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Here's the game over. Jones back to throw, looking for a receiver. He has Davis. It is good. Moscona on the last play of the game. Brad Davis gets a Bert Jones pass to the corner of the end zone.
One of the most famous plays in LSU football history, the night the clock stopped, 1972, Bert Jones to Brad Davis, the night the clock stopped. The 1-second blues, what a moment. Now, I'm not old enough to have lived through that. Many of you are. Some of you may not even be aware of what that is. But it's one of the reasons why I love that LSU over the last 15 years or so has begun honoring its past in a very visible way. Dr. Billy Cannon's number 20 was retired immediately upon completion of his career. And that is the only number that is retired. So no one will ever wear number 20 again at LSU. But what LSU has begun doing since 2009, as many of you probably know, is they have they've retired jerseys. And so players can continue wearing that number because, look, if you start retiring a whole bunch of numbers, you're going to run out of numbers on a team with 100 players on it. So, but what they've done is, in a very visible way, honored the past in the program. And it started back in 2009 with Tommy Casanova, LSU's only 3-time All-American. And it continued with Jerry Stovall, who was the Heisman runner-up back in 1962. Many would argue that it was the one of the biggest snubs in Heisman history was Jerry Stovall finishing runner-up to, who was it from Oregon State? Terry, I'm blanking. Anyway, sorry. My phone was blowing up. I'll focus. My apologies. Look up who that was in 1962. It was Terry somebody.
Terry Baker.
Terry Baker, thank you. And so Jerry Stovall was honored. Then this last year, LSU honored our good friend Charles Alexander, College Football Hall of Famer, who when he left LSU was the all-time leading rusher. Record that stood until Kevin Falk took over that number. And I've said many times that it's time for Kevin Falk and Glenn Dorsey to have their numbers honored as well. And I think those days will come. And Burrow and Jaden Daniels will as well. But I also think it's important to honor these men from LSU's historic past. While, and I don't mean for this to sound morbid, but I think it is something that needs to be said out loud while they're alive to appreciate the honor, to be walked out onto the field and to accept that honor before they're gone. And so I'm glad LSU's doing this. I'm not putting any of these men one foot in the grave. I'm just saying, like, tomorrow isn't promised to anyone. And I think it is important to be able to do this honor for these men who are deserving while they can be there to celebrate, appreciate it with their families. Bert Jones is an incredible figure in LSU football history. Like, so many people remember the 1-second blues, the night the clock stopped, the clip that we just played. But Bert Jones is also LSU's first team All-American at quarterback. And mean, I know the getting's been pretty good lately for LSU at quarterback. Yo, we went a long time without having quarterback play here, lest you forget. Bert Jones won the 1970 SEC championship, won 9 games, each of his 3 years as a starter, which doesn't seem great now, but remember, that was at a time when you played 11 regular season games. So, in bowl games, stats didn't count toward records. So, Bert Jones finished his career having won the 1970 SEC championship. He was an All-American in 1972. He was 4th in the Heisman voting in 1972. He held every passing record possible at LSU when he left, became the number 2 pick of the draft of the Colts, then went on to have a great pro career with Baltimore, and he was the 1976 NFL MVP. A neck injury ended his career prematurely, but Bert Jones was incredible. I mean, he was the first great quarterback LSU ever had. And so I love the fact that this honor is being bestowed upon him. And it is right that this is happening. And I'm thrilled for Bert and that it's happening. And whenever things like this happen, it always begs the question of who's next. And I've shared my opinion on that. This is more about Bert Jones and his time to be honored. And the Texas game, Bert was with us here in hour number 1 if you missed it. And he said he was already planning to be in town for the Texas game with his grandson who lives in Seattle. And his grandson who plays high school football, their season is going to have ended in early November, so he's going to be able to come down to go to the game with Bert. They were planning on going. And so when Verge called him on Monday, said, well, planning on attending this game, and said, perfect, that's the one we were going to pick anyway. So the second week of November, November the 14th, when Texas comes in, is when Bert Jones will have his number 7 immortalized up there with the others. And he shared with us, his college roommate was Tommy Casanova. So those teammates, roommates will be honored together there, which is awesome to think about those guys having that being bestowed that honor together, which is awesome. And I also love the fact that LSU is visibly honoring its past, because from the time Dr. Cannon's number 20 was retired, LSU didn't honor another football player until 2009. So you went 40 years between Dr. Cannon and Tommy Casanova having those honors. It went 40 years. So in some respects, yes, like LSU is making up for lost time. But think about what they've done to build these focal points to honor the past around all the athletic venues. And it's not just retiring the football jerseys. You've got the Billy Cannon statue out front now. You have the plaques on side of Tiger Stadium honoring all of the national award winners, the SEC championship teams, the College Football Hall of Famers, the national championship teams. You go over to Alec Box Stadium. They've got the Skip Bertman statue. You have subsequently honored, after honoring Skip and Ben McDonald, also Todd Walker, Eddie Furness. And you've got the Champions Plaza outside of Alec Box Stadium that has the plaques with all the members of the national championship teams, which is so cool to see. You go over to the practice facility for basketball, and they've got the Pete statue and the Bob Pettit statue and the Shaq statue, and, of course, Simone and Sylvia, and they've retired those jerseys as well, along with Rudy Macklin and Mahmoud. And, like, LSU is having these – and I think it's so important to do because, like, I sit here today realizing, like, I'm at a strange point in – well, I don't mean to, like, be introspective here, but I'm at a strange point in my life where, like, I'm 44. I've been doing this job since I was 27. Like, I got started AFR when I was 27. I'm 44. It's been 17 years. So, like, in many respects, I've grown up from the young guy to the old guy here, or older guy here. And I'm constantly reminded how many things I lived and experienced, even worked through, that, like, even college students today weren't alive at that point. So it's why it's important to honor Bert Jones, because there's probably a lot of people on LSU's campus, students, who have no idea about Bert Jones, who played 50 years ago at LSU. So yeah, like, honor this man who has a great legacy and is worthy of this honor, so when these students and future generations go into Tiger Stadium, they'll have that awareness of who Bert Jones was and why he was important to the history of this program. So I love that LSU, over the last decade and a half, has made this a priority, honoring its past, the people, the teams, And sometimes, I think we have these debates about who should get a statue next or retire a jersey or whatever. And I don't even think it's meant to be that. It's not meant to be something debated. It's meant to be something celebrated. Because I do believe that in due time, all the people who are worthy of that honor will receive that honor. But I think it is important to start with these, I don't want to say pioneers, that maybe is a little too Pollyanna, but these players of a past generation, to honor them now while they're alive, to appreciate the honor. And so I'm glad for, just like I was thrilled last year for my friend Charles Alexander and for Jerry Stovall prior, who has always been so gracious and so kind and such a gentleman and kinder to me than I ever deserved to be treated. Just as a young person in this business, and Jerry Stovall just treated me with respect and dignity. And I never got to watch Jerry Stovall play, but just an amazing man. And those types of legacies and stories to be honored, I'm fired up for it. So I was thrilled to see the news today about Bert Jones, just like I was thrilled last year with Charles Alexander and Jerry Stovall and Tommy Casanova, and we'll be able to tell those players' stories for decades and generations to come, which I'm fired up for it. And one day it'll be my favorite player, Kevin Falk, and one day it'll be Glenn Dorsey, and one day it'll be Joe Burrow, and one day it'll be Jaden Daniels, and those are coming, and I'm excited to see when those days come, and we'll all celebrate them as well, justifiably. But today it's about Bert Jones, and that's a phenomenal, cornerstone of the LSU football program's history, and Bert Jones will be forever honored, which is great to see. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here, y'all. Thanks for tolerating me with that. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com, ARCCO, Arco.com. At Arco Power Systems, Arco is all about industrial Generac generator power. We all know storms come, knocks your power out at home, your standby generator kicks on and powers your house. Okay. Well, what about your business? That's Arco. These are industrial Generac generators for your business, for a school, for a radio station, a media company, a grocery store, a gas station, whatever type of business you run. Ask yourself this question, or remember what it was like when power goes out. What happens? You offline? You can't work for hours, days, weeks, whatever it may be when that storm comes? Arco knocks that out for you, and everything is turnkey. This is energy for your business. Get started today at Arco.com. ARCCO. Arco.com. 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 Home base, I tell you all the time, is right there on Airline Highway by I-12. But they service a giant footprint. All of Louisiana, east to Mobile, west to San Antonio, north to Little Rock, and every point in between. Dallas, Houston, everywhere. It's Arco Power Systems. ARCCO. Arco.com. Arco.com. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Jimmy is gone, so no Otterlocks for like a month. So he's off to Del Mar to watch where the surf meets the turf, to watch the ponies, and to chat it up with vulgar waitresses who curse live on the air. Do we have the audio of that? Is that findable anywhere?
Maybe. It might still be in my folder. I'll have to look. I'll have to really dig deep. I don't even remember what year that was.
I think it was 2 years ago.
Was it? You know what I remember from that? He was on such a heater with baseball.
Yeah.
That year. And then he went to Del Mar, and he couldn't. I don't think he gave another winner in baseball the rest of the season.
Probably not. But Jimmy was doing Otterlocks from Del Mar, and a waitress walked up while he was doing the live hit on the phone, and she was dropping some vulgarities loudly, and they went over the air. I'm sad. We're not going to get to talk to Otter for a hot minute. That's a bummer. But anyway, so that means we got to do what we learned and figure out other ways to actually end the show and land the plane without Otter, but we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll just sit out there and just go keep on my heater. I mean,
we got a full slate of WNBA again tonight, Matt. You feeling good about it?
I handed out a moneyline parlay winner, a WNBA moneyline parlay winner a couple nights ago. Can I get a ding for myself here? I feel like I deserve it.
Ding.
Muso's training Luke on the board. That's what's going on over there. That's why I said ding. You've shown him the ding. All right, it's after further review. Let's knock out a quick break. SEC Media Days is next week. ACC Media Days going on today. Their commissioner, Jim Phillips, had a few interesting things. And one of our fun preview games for the for SEC Media Days, we'll do it next on AFR.
After further review.
Let's Rev, y'all. Rev Fiber. By the way, hat tip to our friends over at Rev. Two things that are really exciting. Number one, found out today, Rev is now the official internet service provider of LSU Athletics. So congrats our friends over at Rev in partnership officially now with LSU. And why not? 90 years winning team, locally owned and operated. LSU, a winner here in South Louisiana, means so much to our state. Love telling you about Rev, and we love talking about LSU. And now Rev, an official partner of LSU Athletics. But also over at Rev, they are one of our sponsors for SEC Media Days next week. So we'll be able to tell you all next week about Rev Fiber across all of our shows for helping present our coverage there in Tampa at SEC Media Days. So we're thrilled to be partnered with Rev, and we appreciate them so much for their partnership with us, supporting us here at 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, and supporting homeowners and business owners all throughout the region. RevFiber.com, RevFiber.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
As far as, I don't know, was it a breaking away or something? Is that what you said? Self-governance. Self-governance to me means no governance.
Self-governance means no governance. That's ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips at Media Days talking about self-governance, which is sort of the threat from the SEC and the Big Ten if they break away from everyone else and just exist on their own. And that's what the ACC and the Big 12 and the new Pac-12, all of these other leagues are facing, is the realization that they have to weigh or balance strength in numbers, right? ACC, Big 12, Pac-12, American, all that, against the strength of the SEC and the Big Ten, which is every relevant brand, because those two leagues have gobbled up effectively every relevant brand, except for, say, Clemson, Florida State, Miami, some of those that, because they've been trapped in the ACC, have tried, but have not been able to get out. But even those few have not been able to carry enough weight to outweigh what the SEC and the Big Ten want to do. And I think if we don't have governance that falls in line with what the Big Ten and the SEC want to do, they will leave. Now, Greg Sankey has said that that isn't anything that they've considered, breaking away. But if he hasn't considered breaking away, then he's foolish. And I know Greg Sankey is not a fool. He is a brilliant man who's done an amazing job running the SEC for the last decade. And so you consider all possibilities. And yes, that is a possibility. Maybe not likely today, but I would call it actually in my lifetime an inevitability. So, all right, it's after further review. We'll talk more about what Jim Phillips had to say. And tomorrow, what's certainly notable, is Clemson takes their turn at ACC Media Days on Thursday. And we're obviously going to pay a lot of attention to what Dabo has to say and the players that go as LSU opens with Clemson on September the 5th in Tiger Stadium. And we'll have everything notable that they say on Thursday's AFR there from ACC Media Days. Okay, one of our favorite games. Name that school. Hit it, Muse. Here we go. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, step right up as we play another fun game of Name That School. Say it with me, right?
Name that school.
Right. Paul, turn on Paul's mic. That's all I'll do.
I didn't.
Name that school. Okay.
The crowd goes wild.
A live studio audience sounds like a football crowd.
Exactly. Stadium pulse. Hey! That's more golf. That's more golf than football.
All right. Okay. This is easy. I name a player, attending SEC football media days, and Muse has to tell me what school they attend. So let's start with an easy one.
All right.
Okay, let's start with an easy one. I say Marcel Reed.
Texas A&M.
Got it. Give yourself a jingle. Okay. I give Muse. And some are like that, right? Arch Manning.
Texas.
Got it. Okay. Lenoris Sellers.
South Carolina.
Yeah, okay. So there's some that we know are easy. And then there's some that I think are easily deducible. Maybe that a more than a casual fan would know. Like if I said Drew Bobo.
Georgia.
Yes, Drew Bobo. Center for the University of Georgia. Jaden Baugh.
Florida.
Yes, running back at Florida. Okay, so you get the gist. We're easing Muse into it. But one undeniable truth when you're talking about 16-member institutions, each bringing 3 players means there's 48 players. And while you and I may know Trades Green, TJ Dottery, Whit Weeks, the guy that does afternoon radio in South Carolina may not know who TJ Dottery is. That's the reality. So sometimes you may have a situation where our dear friend Muse is asked about Kelly Jones. Kelly Jones.
What?
Kelly Jones will be in attendance at SEC football.
Kelly
media
Jones
days.
plays in the SEC in
Kelly
2026.
Kelly Jones will lace him up in the Southeastern Conference this season.
All right, I'm gonna go. You know, Kelly Jones sounds like he plays for Eli Drinkwitz, so I'm gonna go Missouri.
No, idiot.
Yeah,
Mississippi State.
No!
Ribs is so mad at you right now.
Man,
So mad at you right now. How about Damian Sanford?
All right, let's see. Damian Sanford. All right, so I guess we're going to take Mississippi State off the board here. You wouldn't go there twice in a row.
Would I?
I don't think so. Damian Sanford followed Ryan Silverfield from Memphis. He plays for Arkansas.
No.
Dang.
No, he plays at Texas A&M.
Oh, wow.
He's
Okay.
a linebacker who plays at Texas A&M. All right, Muse. Who does Sutton Smith play for?
I mean, the Sutton.
I'm going to have a great opportunity, hopefully, to chop it up with Sutton there at Digital Drive next week in Tampa.
Look,
Sutton Smith, AFR regular.
Sutton Smith is pretty fratty, so that's it's one of 3 schools. It's either Ole Miss, Alabama, or Auburn. I'm going to go with Alabama.
Wait. I'm surprised. No, by the way. That was Arkansas. I'm surprised. Wait, you think Auburn is fratty?
I do. I think Auburn's got some fratty in there, man.
If you're going Ole Miss, Bama, Georgia, if you're going fratty schools in the SEC.
Georgia for sure.
If you're going fratty schools in the SEC. Okay.
So that was Arkansas.
That was Arkansas.
Did he follow Ryan Silverfield from Memphis?
I'm sorry. Do you think I know?
That's true.
I haven't.
That's fair.
The flight to Tampa is when I will dive into all of these bios and start preparing for these interviews that may come or that may or may not come. All right, let's get you back. Let's get you back on track.
All right.
Okay. Get you feeling good about yourself.
All right.
What about Nick Harbor?
Nick Harbor plays for South Carolina.
Yes. Okay. There we go. Here's one that I think you should get. I think you should.
We come to this every year, and I never get it, I feel like.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Junior Sherrill. Oh, Muse. I thought you'd know this one for sure.
Junior State, Mississippi State?
No. Vanderbilt. Receiver from Vanderbilt.
Andy, okay.
You want one more?
Yeah, we got time. We're not calling Otter.
I know. Okay. So ridiculous. I cover the league, and I know a third of the names on this list. All right. All right, Muse. Who does Jeremiah Tellander play for?
That is not a real person. That is not a real player in the SEC.
Tellander. Jeremiah Tellander.
Tennessee Volunteers. Oh, man.
Oh,
Shout out, Jeremiah.
linebacker for the Vols, Jeremiah Tellander.
A VFL. Look at him.
Let's just end on a high note. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Glow Resources, GLO. You were bound to get one, bro. You were bound to get one. Glow Resources. We're going to keep going until you nailed one. GlowResources.com. Complete employer solutions. There's Jareth Knockan right there. My buddy Jareth over at Glow Resources. Great dude who's built an incredible business. A business report, the top 100 privately owned companies in the Baton Rouge area. Glow Resources made the list yet again. I believe I saw that they were up 11% year over year, which is just incredible to watch the growth of that business. I say it every year. And, when you provide a great service and you help businesses grow, your business naturally is going to grow. And your business growing is all about having the right people, and that's what Glow Resources does. They scour the country and their whole network to find the right people for whatever job it is you're looking to fill. Skilled blue-collar labor, their professional placement division for any type of white-collar job, it's Glow Resources. GLO. GlowResources.com. GlowResources.com. I've said it for years, quite literally years. Better coverage for less money. It's the best way to describe what Insurance Network of Louisiana does. They shop independently for free to find you better coverage for less money. If you currently have your insurance, by the way, any kind of insurance, home, auto, umbrella, flood, business insurance, if you have your insurance with a company, like a provider, your local agent can only get you rates from that provider. At Insurance Network of Louisiana, they have relationships with dozens of the top-rated providers in the world, so they shop. They shop your coverage to find you the best coverage at the best price. So you get better coverage and you save. It's Insurance Network of Louisiana. 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Lowest prices, never any contracts. YourGoodwood.com. If you're on, by the way, gents, I say this all the time, if you're on HRT and you're paying like a membership fee, first of all, that's ridiculous. If you have to have the expense for your blood labs every 6 months, you're overpaying. At Goodwood, lowest prices, never any contracts. They pick up the cost on your blood labs every 6 months. There's no membership fee. They're the best. YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com. Daryl sent a text, by the way. So, Matt, wanted to add to the Bert Jones discussion. Bill Belichick stated multiple occasions Bert was the most talented quarterback he ever worked with, hands down. Pretty impressive when you think about not only Brady, but some of the others he coached. Maybe we could find, I don't know if we can find that. Maybe you can Google and see if you can find Bill Belichick on Bert Jones. That would be interesting to see if we can find that. I love reading a lot of these comments. Like Carla sent this one. She said, I was 12 years old when that play, the night the clock stopped. When the play happened, my stepdad got so excited. It was the beginning of my interest in LSU football. It's one of the reasons why I love these types of things. Like you gotta take time to honor the past. It's those moments. Like we got I'll give you a little spoiler here, but like one of the things that Hunt over at LouisianaSports.net does from time to time is a station survey. And so he asks everybody here at the radio station to answer a question, then he prints all the answers. Well, the one he has for, I think it's going to publish tomorrow, is your favorite Tiger Stadium memory. And my favorite Tiger Stadium memory isn't the best game in Tiger Stadium, but it is my favorite Tiger Stadium memory. It was 2001 Auburn. I was a student at LSU. It was a game that got postponed because of 9/11. It ended up being played in early December. Alabama upset Auburn the week before in the Iron Bowl, which set up effectively a de facto SEC West championship game in Tiger Stadium. The winner of LSU Auburn was going to the SEC championship game. 2 years prior was when Auburn had smoked cigars for Tommy Tuberville's birthday after they blasted LSU 41-9, I think it was, in Tiger Stadium. And, man, it was just rabid in Tiger Stadium that day. And Michael Clayton just annihilated some Auburn guy on the kickoff. That was the game where the Auburn kicker, Vaughn, was fighting with the band members at halftime. LSU wins, stormed the field, smoking cigars on the field. Like, I still have a chunk of the eye of the tiger and my half-smoked cigar in a jar on a shelf in my office at home. Like, those are the types of things that set the hook of your fandom forever. And so for a lot of people, like, Bert Jones was a part of theirs. And for a lot of younger fans, this is an opportunity to get to know the legacy that Bert Jones has. So it's why I love it. Okay. All right, just about to wrap up here. Muse, what did, here we go. Yeah, all right. About to wrap up here on a Wednesday edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Muse, what did you learn today?
I learned that Sutton Smith plays for Arkansas and that Jeremiah Tellander plays for Tennessee.
Did you have to write down Jeremiah Tellander to remember it?
No, I remembered him. It was last segment, and I got that one right.
I didn't remember it. Paulie, what did you learn today?
I learned that Jeff Goodman still hates LSU.
Dude, a loser.
What'd you learn, Matt?
Stan Brock does not have an opinion on who's going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, man.
Do you have it?
I don't have time. I had it, but I don't have time.
Well, we had like 15 seconds.
Well, we'll come back to it.
All right.
AFR.
Good way to end on a dud. Now we'll end on a high by talking about FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake. Championship health partner of LSU Athletics, olrmc.com/LSU. That's where you can go to learn more about the Championship Health Partnership. You know, I love telling you about the lake because, yes, if you love LSU Athletics, they are the most invested entity in LSU Athletics, which is very important. I mean, LSU Athletics is a massive deal for the state. The partnership that FMOL Health Our Lady of the Lake has with LSU and LSU Athletics is huge for their entity as a $5 billion health system. They care for the student athletes, and that's massive. And yes, they do NIL deals, and it's a great way to promote the lake, but also give great opportunities to student athletes, which help the Tigers win, all that stuff. But they are so invested in our communities. They just recently announced the new FMOL Health Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Institute with the ribbon cutting. It's pretty incredible. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together, we roar.